Everyone is a moon and has a dark side, which he never shows to anybody. Clothes make the man naked. People have little or no influence on society. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear, and the blind can see. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level, and then beat you with experience. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Alike and travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting on its shoes. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Reality can be beaten with enough imagination. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Religion was invented when the first man met the first fall. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Don't wake up a woman in love. Let her dream, so that she does not weep when she returns to her bitter reality. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Choose something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Conservatism is the blind and fear-filled worship of dead radicals. A man is accepted into a church for what he believes, and he is turned out for what he knows. If we would learn what the human race really is, at bottom we need only observe it in election times. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one is watching. And love like you've never been hurt. Loyalty to a petrified opinion never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. Don't use a $5 word when a 50-cent word will do. You can't pray a lie, I've found that out. Find a job you enjoy doing. and you will never have to work a day in your life. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move fall like a thunderbolt. Put them in a spot where they have no place to go, and they will die before fleeing. See the sun and moon is no sign of sharp sight. To hear the nose of thunder is no sign of a quick ear. Invincibility is in oneself, vulnerability in the opponent. Earth comprises distances great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death. Opportunities multipliers as they are seized. We cannot enter into alliances until we are acquainted with the designs of our neighbors. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Treat your man as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Know yourself, and you will win all battles. If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. Ponder and to deliberate before you make a move. It is easy to love your friend, but sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is to love your enemy. Disorder came from order. Fear came from courage. Weakness came from strength. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. Like the sun and moon they end, but to begin anew. Like the four seasons, they pass away to return once more. If you are near the enemy, make him believe you are far from him. If you are far from the enemy, make him believe you are now. If, on the other hand, in the midst of difficulties, we are always ready to seize an advantage, we may extricate ourselves from misfortune. Some people think insufficiency means weakness, and surplus means strength, but this impression is wrong. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken, take heed. Do not squander your life. Leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humanness, courage, and sternness. One cat at the hole and 10,000 mice dare not come out. One tiger in the valley and 10,000 deer cannot pass through. Be extremely subtle even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate. Every animal with blood in its veins and horns on its head will fight when it is attacked. Prohibit almonds altogether. You can best predict your future by controlling it yourself, not by trusting luck or fate to control it. The host thus forming a single united body. Is it impossible either for the brave to advance alone, or for the cowardly to retreat alone? Practice dissimulation, and you will succeed. Those who win every battle are not really skillful. Those who render others' armies helpless without fighting are the best of all. Every kingdom divided against itself is laid to waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. You will not succeed unless your men have tenacity and unity of purpose, and above all, a spirit of sympathetic cooperation. By discovering the enemy's dispositions and remaining invisible ourselves, we can keep our forces concentrated, while the enemy's must be divided. He wins his battles by making no mistakes. More planning shall give greater possibility of victory, or less planning lesser possibility of victory. So how about those without planning? Stupid haste is preferable to clever dilatoriness. Let your rapidity be that of the wind, your compactness that of the forest. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. The strong and the weak can serve, thanks to the principles of the ground. Whatever comes, let it come. What stays, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Know your enemy, know yourself, and the victory will not be questionable, even in hundreds of battles. Perform your calculations, for everything liable to calculation, but also think very deeply about what people are capable of. Those who don't know themselves nor the enemy shall suffer failure into every battle. When ears don't hear, use gongs and drums. When eyes don't see, use flags and banners. Without local guides, your enemy employs the land as a weapon against you. A skillful warrior doesn't depend on enemy's absence, but on his own readiness. Old age is not as honorable as death, but most people want it. If a man is as wise as a serpent, he can afford to be as harmless as a dove. There is no death, only a change of worlds. You already possess everything necessary to become great. Even a small mouth has anger. Man's law changes with his understanding of man. Only the laws of the spirit remain always the same. All dreams spin out from the same web. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Don't be afraid to cry. It will free your mind of sorrowful thoughts. It is better to have less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may not remember. Involve me and I'll understand. Remember that your children are not your own. What are led to you by the Creator. The weakness of the enemy makes our strength. All plants are our brothers and sisters. They talk to us, and if we listen, we can hear them. Children learn from what they see. We need to set an example of truth and action. When you were born, you cry and the world rejoice. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Our first teacher is our own heart. Beware of the man who does not talk, and the dog that does not bark. Everyone who is successful must have dream of something. Owning land is like owning the ocean or the air. No one owns land. We will be known forever by the tracks we leave. You can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. We need a seat at the table. If we're not at the table, we're probably on the menu. He put in your heart certain wishes and plans. In my heart, He put other different desires. The buffalo provided the fuel for fires that smoke their own meat. We do not want riches, but we do want to train our children right. Religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for those who've already been there. Wisdom and peace come when you start living the life the Creator intended for you. A fire is a nice idea, but won't we be spending the evening under the covers? No kingdom on earth can surpass the great outdoors. None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but its own mindset can. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Life is not separate from death. It only looks that way. When we show our respect for other living things, they respond with respect for us. Before eating, always take time to thank the food. If we wander often, the gift of knowledge will come. Poverty is a noose that strangles humility and breeds disrespect for God and man. Do not judge your neighbor until you walk 2 moons in his moccasins. All who have died are equal. One does not sell the land. People walk on. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. A frog does not drink up the pond in which it lives. There is but one secret to success. Never give up. Peace of mind is the meaning of life.